Now from the University of Okoboji, it's Okoboji Broadcast with Jeff Thee.
Welcome to Okoboji Broadcast, everybody. I'm Jeff Thee. It's Thursdays, Women of Action here in the Iowa Great Lakes, and there's no one more active than my friend Suzie Kraft here at Ruthven Locker at the lake,
Right.
Ruthven Locker and Ruthven, and of course, I can't forget about
Locker in the Park.
Locker in the Park.
The
My
newbie.
goodness, it's lockers abound.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And not like lockers where you put stuff in for the gym.
That's
Meat
right.
locker, yeah.
You know, and that was something I wanted to bring up, and maybe first I'm going to ask you, because I know we've talked about this before, but you're what the Beach Boys used to sing about. You're a California girl.
Well, I'm not blonde, but yes. Yeah.
Girls on the beach. And here you are.
In Iowa.
Neck deep in the locker business.
Right. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? So,
Not me.
Fine. Tell me the story. How did you get here? How did you get into this business?
Well, it's kind of the age-old tale. I fell in love with a guy from Iowa. I mean, he wasn't an Iowa farm boy or anything, but I mean, he was from Iowa and he was living out in California, and you know, California's kind of a hard place to live and raise family.
Yeah.
So we still had 2 kids at the house, and we just decided to come back here, and his dad had the locker, and it just all fit.
Yeah, and that's just it. It was a family business, and
Yeah.
So he grew up around it.
Oh yeah. He's been cutting meat since like high school.
Right.
Before they had the age limit of 18, he was cutting meat. So
Okay.
yeah.
But so, and that's Chris. We're talking about Chris.
Yeah, my husband, Chris, the butcher.
Chris. But yeah, it's one thing for you, Suzie, to come back to Iowa, and your husband's in the locker business with his family. But you are
A social worker.
an integral part of this business. There's not a portion of meat on pork and beef that you don't know, and I mean,
So somebody would have
You
told
did
me
lots
like
of things.
8 years ago that I would be standing in the middle of rural Iowa slinging meat. I would have been like, yeah, no, I don't know who you're talking about, but things happen, right? So I'm a social worker by trade, did that for many years in child protection and assistance services out in California. So that's my background, helping people, and it's really not really a far jump. If you think about just working with the public in a service field or service industry, so it actually meshes well. I'm able to like still enter that part of my brain and help people out, and so here we are.
Yeah, and you know, and not only using that aspect of your brain, like you said, but you're also very involved in this community. You find ways to give back to the community. You're involved with the schools, downtown projects or chamber events and so forth. You've got, again, the locker at the park. So locker at lakes has become a very integral part of the Iowa Great Lakes.
I hope so. I hope so. You know, we believe in community. I mean, it's really easy to feel part of a community in this area.
Yeah.
Whether it's your community all the way out in Estherville, all the way down to Spencer, and then as far south as Ruthven, you know, we do what we can. But, you know, we have a lot of employees who we love, and we couldn't do this without them.
Yeah.
And so really where I work hardest is employee relations.
Yeah.
So we find that if our crew is happy, our locker family, if they're happy, everything pretty much runs itself, kind of like a self-weeding garden.
Well, and that's not easy. You know,
No.
That takes effort and time and genuine care.
That's exactly it. And sometimes people have a difficult time, well, I don't know if it's with the appearing genuine when you truly are genuine.
Right.
So, you know, we love our employees, we care about their families, and so we just all work well together.
Yeah, and you know, and another group that you're very involved with and help out, of course, our area beef and pork producers.
Yeah, we love our farmers. Yesterday or the day before was yesterday.
Farmers Day,
yesterday. Well, whenever you play this.
This week.
There was
that way.
Yeah.
But again, you become, because I remember as a kid, Suzie, I grew up in Algona, Iowa, and almost every little town at one point
Had a locker.
had a locker.
Yeah, it's harder to find now.
Yeah, and my dad was a beef producer for many, many years, and so, our deep freeze was always full, and I can remember my older siblings' Christmas birthday gifts were often half a beef, half a hog.
And that's a great gift, by the way. Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah,
It
yeah.
still is.
Yeah.
But you don't find lockers in every little town anymore, so
Yeah.
you fill the void in the lakes area.
We're trying. I mean, we actually added another employee down at the locker just to kind of accommodate a couple of the other lockers closing recently, or limiting their services. And it's unfortunate, but it is very difficult. I don't know how my husband and the guys down there do it.
Yeah.
Honest truth, it's hard work. They do it every day, and we see small lockers when the owner is done, they close their doors, and it's just because it's difficult work.
Yeah. It's
But
kind of like, you see a lot of, whereas, we used to, every half mile there's a different farmstead, going through Iowa, and there's a different family on that farm. Now you see more open fields, desolate old farm places.
Yeah.
And
farming is hard.
farming is hard, and we've seen a lot over the last, I'm going to say, 20, 30 years of young kids that see how hard their family has
Yeah.
worked, and I don't think I'm going into family business.
Exactly right. Yeah. So fortunately for us as a locker, we haven't lost too many farmers. We are seeing, so this is good news for our area, we are seeing a lot of turnover in the generation. So just about the time that Chris and I started becoming involved in the locker with Terry, and then buying it from Terry, we saw a lot of the younger farmers doing the same thing with their fathers, and so that change kind of happened at the same time.
Yeah.
So we were able to cultivate those relationships pretty well, where we were all kind of like, ooh, what are we doing? What are we doing? But we all figured it out together. So.
And it's a good thing. We need those young families.
We do. Farming is hard. I will say it again. Farming is hard work.
Terribly hard.
Yeah.
But now here you filled this void here in the lakes area, and I remember you started out kind of in the
Back of the mall.
Great Lakes Mall there.
Yeah.
And did that for a time.
Almost 4 summers ago.
Yeah. Time flies.
Yeah. So speaking of that, we will be here for 3 years on Hill Avenue, the end of this month.
Yeah.
So
Happy
time.
anniversary.
Well, thank you. We're pretty excited. I was looking at the calendar, looking at it today. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been almost 3 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. And not only now your background's in social work and you get involved in this, but you've got a lot of great retail that goes along with what, whether it's the rubs or the
Stonewall Kitchen or whatever. Yeah.
You just got a lot of stuff in the store here, down at the locker in the park.
Yeah.
How did you start finding out, we could do some retail here too to go along with our product?
Well, it just really kind of complements it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you only have to stop at one place, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not a full grocery store by any means. We can't do that here,
Right.
but we can pretty much cover most of it. And what we really like to do is support other small businesses. So you'll see we have cupcakes on Friday, and they're a small group of sisters in Esterville that we get those from, and they are fantastic. We've sold out the last 2 Fridays.
Yeah.
And then we have Simply Sweet Cheesecake from Lakefield, Minnesota. So that's just a hop up the border. We've had her, and I'm thinking about doing like a macaron Monday with another small business. So we've got Rissy's Rubs in here. She's a small business out of Terrell. We do our best to include everybody that may not have their own brick and mortar building.
Right, yeah. And you partner with others and you get stronger together.
That's right, we support each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And most of them are women, by the way.
Yeah. Why we do this on Thursdays.
Yeah.
I love the women in the forefront of our beautiful area.
Yeah.
But of course you got all the meat products, beef, pork, here every cut you could ever want.
Yeah.
And of course my locker trash that I love so much.
Locker trash, yes.
Goes along with Vikings games real well. And
Or Patriots games.
I was going to say sometimes the Vikings play like trash, but
It was close on
play on words on
Sunday.
that. But and with your knowledge of cuts of meat and so forth, you're getting specialized service here.
You really are, and Cassidy is our store manager here, and she's been with us for just about 2 years, a year full time, and I mean she knows pretty much everything that there is to know about meat too. And so when you come in, ask a question. We're happy to answer. We can tell you how to cook it. We can tell you what we do.
Yeah.
You know, we can tell you what our favorite thing is. One of our best things that happens here, I find, is when someone's like, oh, just give me 2 ribeyes or give me a pack of fillets. And then I'm like, well, which one? Which one would you like? And it comes down to, well, why don't you pick out the one that you would eat?
Yes.
And that makes us feel pretty good, because then that means that they know that they can trust us.
You go to a professional and you're going to get what you want.
Yeah, I guess we are professionals,
That's
Cassidy.
it. That's what you are.
Yeah.
But so open here, how many days a week now?
We're open 7 days a week, which kind of lets me talk real quick about something else. So we have 2 new employees up here. They both attend Spirit Lake High School, so they are young. And Ava has been with us throughout the summer, so she's a little bit more acclimated to the area. And then we have Paige, Paige is a vegetarian. Okay, but vegetarian for different reasons, and Paige can also help you with things around here. But they're young girls, and they wanted jobs, and here they are. So we're actually open, thanks to them, we're able to be open 7 days a week. And so that's Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Yep. Saturday 9 to 5, and then Sunday 9 to 3.
Okay, yeah.
And that'll go through the holidays. We might expand them longer, but we won't be shorter.
Well, and let's talk about the holidays there in just a second. But first, not only you supplying to people coming in and out of your door, but area restaurants like I know the Ritz.
The Ritz and Main Street. Yeah. Yes, and a couple others that don't want to be named, which is fine. So they have their individual steak nights, and so we provide them with whether it's sirloins, ribeyes. I think Ritz also has some of our New York strips, and their chefs do an amazing job. Yeah,
but what does that tell you about your product, your locally grown product? I mean, if local businesses are providing them, that means it's fantastic.
Right, and our local farmers are the start of that.
Absolutely.
They know what they're doing. So it starts there, and we can kind of cut them up good, and then they cook them well, and it's all win-win-win. Keeps the money right here in our area.
Just the big food chain then.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Let's talk about, we're coming up on the holidays, hard to believe, but we're on the way again.
Yeah.
So as far as like, you want to give a gift of half beef, half pork, or wrap up any advice?
Call us right away if you want to actually buy on the quarter or the whole or the half. Give us a call right away so we can get that order in, because we are creeping up very quickly into the holiday season. So there's that. We also can just make a butcher box for you. You could buy the decorated box and then buy whatever you want, and we can put it in there for you to make it easier. We're also going to be really pushing alternative meat. And I don't mean fake meat, but alternatives to turkey. Turkey prices are going to be really high this year. And so I don't know if people recognize that just yet. Recently, I wrote an article about the alternative meats as well. And so that will come out next month, Lake Life magazine. And it'll tell you a little bit about the different cuts you can get, some of the less expensive pieces of meat that you can use that people don't always think about, and then it'll also kind of notate some recipes that you can use. All good.
Full service right there.
All good. You don't have to eat turkey at Thanksgiving. I mean, it's great if you can, but you don't have to.
That's right. There's no law.
There's no law. You create your own tradition, right? Yeah.
And before we go, I know you're doing something coming up here in December where you're going to be a speaker.
Yep. So over at the Okoboji Bible Conference, they have a lunch and learn every month, and I think it's like the third Thursday or the second Thursday. You could check on that. But they're going to have me talk a little bit about emotional intelligence in the workplace. So emotional intelligence, if people have not heard of that, look it up, because it is life-changing. No matter who you are, it's life-changing. It talks a bit about, emotion regulation, and once you know your own emotions, you can kind of read others better, and it helps just develop that camaraderie in the workplace. It also helps with keeping your employees, because that's difficult these days. So there's many different levels of that, but yes, that's what I'll be talking about in mid-November at the Bible Conference.
Mid-November, okay. And that's when you say that about camaraderie in the workplace. You think about people taking stuff heavy on their shoulders home at night. And then you're miserable at home too, and and you can have that camaraderie in the workplace.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going home happy.
Well, and I think that like I can speak from a pretty fun place in that here Cassie and I can have a great time, you know, but down at the locker, that's a tough job. You know, they're dealing with some things every day. They're using their muscles. Things can get like animated down there.
Sure.
And I just like to tell people, like, if we can retain people, if we can keep people working for us, anybody can, because it's certainly not the job. It's certainly not the job that's keeping them there.
Right.
So I really think it has to do with the teamwork and the collaboration and how they all feel about each other. And so that's a little bit of what I'm going to be talking about there.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, Suzie Kraft, you and Chris and your businesses and all your locations bring a lot to our lakes area.
you.
And thank you for your dedication to the Iowa Great Lakes, and certainly the way that you give back and the great product you bring to us. So.
Thanks for coming out and seeing me. I appreciate it.
I always do. I always love doing it. Suzie Kraft here with us today, Women of Action here in the Iowa Great Lakes. Hey, we want to thank her for bringing us in here today. We thank you for watching us right here on Okoboji Broadcast. Okoboji Broadcast from the studios at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park is brought to you in part by the headquarters of the University of Okoboji is at the Three Sons, open Monday through Saturday 10 to 5 and Sunday from 10 to 4. The Scott Troutman State Farm Agency in Spirit Lake. Quest Wealth Management, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services. Advisor Jan Spielman, AJ Spielman, and Erica Wachholz. Ducky's Marine and Motorsports Repair in Spirit Lake. Bank Midwest, dream big, plan wisely, live well. Lakes Regional Healthcare and Avera Partner. Ruthven Locker at the Lake, where carnivores are welcome on Hill Avenue in Spirit Lake. Beck Engineering in Spirit Lake. Be Radiant Laser Skin Studio in the Okoboji Plaza in Okoboji.